Hello! Hi, hello, alchemists, alchemy people. Hello, my family. Hi, and how have you been? Welcome. Hello, Ari. You're early today. Hey, Spawn. Oh, Spawn. I'm not seeing you for a while. Hello. Hello. La. How have you been, Ari? I have to say, I have been very productive. So I'm on a dopamine high because I felt very, very productive the past few days. Hi, Ronan. It is nice to see. How have you all been? I know, like, once I disappear and I get into that spiral, but when I postpone streams, it's like the beginning. You know, it's the beginning. It's like when I go into these spirals, like just a few days to warm up, and then I get into a creative spiral. And then when I get into the spiral, that's when I'm like, I don't want to stream. I don't want to go out with my friends. I don't want to meet family. I don't want to do anything but work, you know? I sound like a workaholic. But, you know, we all struggle with our own things, you know. I have a very complicated relationship with my work, so it's like this once a week thing, because like I'm thinking about you guys. You guys are like, we want to hear from Miyu. We miss her, or we want to know what she's up to, like at least once a week. Like this is like something I feel like will force me to keep myself balanced. I know I've said this before in one way or in some way or another, but it's really more obvious, you know, when you are sensing yourself going off balance and then like going like, let me just postpone this, and then I want to keep doing what I'm doing, and then after that forcing yourself to do it because it's like, okay, it's your stream. You have to do what you promise once a week. And then you have to sit down, whether you feel like it or not. You know? And then like every time I do that, I end up feeling better. Because you know what? You know, I end up feeling better. I really do. It may be hard to sit myself down and get Emron to just come over and like set up my stream for me, set up my viewers for me, set up everything for me. You know? It's but hi, what is that emote? What is that emote? I had too much coffee, probably why I got here too early. Why did you have so many? Hello, Ronan. That's 7 consecutive streams this month. Thank you. Thank you for always staying to watch us. Always supporting me and Emron. We really, really appreciate you guys. And see, I have some hot barley tea here. We drink some barley tea together. 3 mugs of coffee. What? Do you put milk and sugar in your coffee? I think it's too hot for me right now. 3 months. Why did you drink so much? Is it what? How do you feel right now? Is it? Are you jittery? What do you? Black with sugar. Oh, you're not just on a caffeine high. You're on a sugar high as well. Do you get high from sugar? Can I go now, or am I? What do you mean, Ronan? What do you mean? You're never stuck. If you want to go, you can go. You can lurk. But, you know, stuck. Well, you're only as stuck as you want to be. This is a free channel. It's not a free channel, is it? Isn't it? It's not free if you sub. But it's kind of free if you don't sub. Well, you get ads, but, you know, what's so bad about ads? This few minutes of nothing. You miss a few minutes of nothing. That's the ads. People complain about ads when it's not even an important show. Anyway, what was I talking about? Am I too high? Hi, Sugar Cube. Hello. It's very, very nice to see you. What is your follow age, Ronan? Oh yeah, guys. If you are up for some songs, we have an auto playlist going on Spotify. You are welcome to contribute to it. So, oh yeah, I was just this morning, Em and I went into the city to go for my therapy session, my personal therapy session, and then Em was like hanging out with baby in like a cafe. And then we had brunch together and stuff. But like, I went to therapy in the city in the rain. It was raining all fucking day. Got so wet. And we had, and I really wanted to bring Emma. Yeah. Emma was at the cafe waiting for me. And then I love roasted barley. It has that nice bready, smoky flavor. It's so nice. It went very well. It's my first time going in for face-to-face. It was my first time meeting my therapist in person. So I've been doing therapy for maybe half a year? Or a few months, maybe since last like August, September or so. But I've been doing it once a week, every week, very consistently, and I have never met my therapist. And so today, he's helped me a lot, and he is very, very generous with me, and I wanted to thank him. So Emran suggested that I should give him a copy of my book. And so I said, let's meet for a face-to-face therapy so I can give you a copy as a thank you. And then that's why we did. And face-to-face was, I have to say, I like Zoom sessions more. Follow H didn't work. I don't know how to make it work. Ari, can you fix it? Thank you. Thank you, Ari. So, try now. Do another. Oh, baby, I know, baby. Oh yo, I know. Hey, boogers. Okay. It's done. Oh, yay! Ari, you fixed it. Thank you. Yay, Ari. I don't think I could handle therapy. Why? Why and why not? Well, I feel like it's been helpful so far, but definitely therapy, you have to know what you need, I guess. Oh, guys, have you ever had this? The Korean cookies. Korean biscuits. Oh, like an umbrella. Literally, it says here, umbrella biscuit. Umbrella biscuits. It has a cool shape. Wait, look. It's like a mushroom cat. No, baby. It's like a mushroom cat. seashell. Oh, it was like sweet biscuit. It was very, very nice. Nice. 5 years. We've been streaming a long ass time. 5 years. Wow. Means almost 6 years. Ari feels. Oh, come on, Ari. Means we've been through a lot. Look at all the steam. Takes a lot to maintain a friendship for that long. So, cheers. Where was I? Oh yeah, I was talking about the therapy session. And it was like, I've been doing the online Zoom session like 45 minutes. And it's really just talking. You know, not so much like yeah, I don't feel like it's any much different. If anything, I feel like I don't know if it's because I'm a millennial. I don't really mind the online, not in person kind of feel. Because I feel like if I'm there personally, I feel more distracted. Because there's like, I'm in an unfamiliar environment. The view outside the office looks good. I mean, if I go there every week, it's I won't find the view so interesting anymore, I guess. But like, who wants to go down to the city, lug yourself down to the city, rain or shine, once a week, every week? Ain't nobody got time for that. I didn't even know it was that long. It is. Wow, Ari, it is. Me having full conversations with Hamlet for 2 hours. You know, it can help. I mean, I feel like that's how a lot of... I feel like that's how a lot of people bond with their pets. And that is one way we can benefit off of having pets. Is to be able to have make-believe conversations with them so we can process what's inside of us. You know? Sometimes we don't have safe spaces or even safe people to talk to. So don't think about talking to, let's say, a pet as something that is not good or weird or somehow pathetic or sad or lonely or whatever it is you feel like it is. No. Talking to your pets, having serious conversations with your pets, even like, who the fuck cares? It's between you and your fucking pet. Who else paying your bills? Hi, Nalas. Evening. Good evening. Thank you for dropping by. It's like, you guys are a form of my therapy. That's why I guess I don't talk to Hamlet as much, but I don't talk to Hamlet a lot. But I play with him. He and I don't have deep conversations. Wait, what? 2017? Really? Really? 2017? Really? That was the year I published my book. We are both your therapists, and the reason you need therapy. No. I can say for fucking sure, Mr. Q, you guys are not the reason I need therapy. No. You guys came into play way too late in my life. I feel like mostly when we go to therapy is to process stuff in childhood and early adulthood. Stuff that happened then. I feel like we internalize most when we're at those stages, like early adult, before 26, 27-ish. In some other anime con. Oh! Is it like that one-time anime? That one-time anime con? Asian Ultra? Do you find seeking therapy to be a sign of strength or weakness? Okay. I love that you asked this question, Cutie Sugar Cube. So, I think it is neither a sign of strength, nor is it a sign of weakness. It is a sign of... To me, like, because when you're talking about a sign, are you asking whether do you want to know how I see it or how everyone sees it? Because like definitely everyone sees it their own way. But if you're asking me personally whether it is a sign of strength or weakness, I would say neither, but I would lean more, if I have to say, I would lean more towards strength. I would lean more towards strength. Because, let me tell you this. People think therapy is like going to the doctors. So when do you go to the doctor? When you're sick, when there's something wrong with you, when something is not working right. So, therapy can be for something like this. But it is also a place to go to grow, to learn more about yourself. Therapy helps people understand themselves in a way that helps them improve themselves. So the thing is about like when you go to therapy is that like it's not necessarily something's wrong with you. You have to then like you don't need to have something bad going on to seek therapy. Because the right kind of therapy. Miyu on a Tuesday, because I didn't stream yesterday because I was working. So today, because I had to move a bunch of other stuff I usually do on Mondays to a Tuesday, so that's why stream was more conducive today. So thank you for dropping by. I'm very, very happy you're here. I'm sorry. So, yes, Ari, I am happy you agree, because you know why I say that, and you know why I really, really need you guys to at least consider this perspective. Yeah? Aw, kill. So, this perspective I'm trying to show you is how we view therapy is I view therapy as a way, whether you have a pre-existing problem, whether you're struggling with depression or whatever it is, it's just not debilitating enough, like it's not crippling enough that you're struggling with life. You know, let's say you struggle with procrastination or you're not very punctual. Like, people won't go to therapy for that. I mean, people won't tell you to go to therapy for that, but you know, I feel it's still a very legitimate reason. Even when you don't think, you know, if one day you think there is nothing wrong with you, then maybe you're not like you're maybe like a little bit too egotistical. You know, egotistical. I have to say that. Egotistical. So, I mean, at what point will you say, I am my ideal self. I am the self I have set out to be. So like, some people think that, and some people feel that, but that's on them. Those people, it'll be harder for them to like grow and improve because, you know, you're not actively doing it. Growing and improving, understanding yourself, all these things that you do in therapy, all the stuff that you do in therapy, it's not a bunch of like, they're trying to brainwash you or like, I don't know what preconceived notions you have about therapy. A lot of people who've never been to therapy before, I myself only started my first therapy session half a year ago. So I'm 40 now, so my over 39 years of my life, I have no idea what it is, and I have no experience. So it's very normal. And it's definitely, you know, not everyone needs it, not everyone needs to have it, but it's, to me, it's something that's nice to have. So it's just like going overseas. No one needs to definitely have to go overseas, but it is nice to go at least once in your life. Go out of the country once in your life. So it's kind of like that. The therapy. So it is something that is my point is it's very, very, very useful. Very, very useful. And it is something that you don't know is useful until you really give it a try. And you really try to make it work. Because it is but first you have to find the right therapist. You have to find a suitable therapist. Like, if you don't find a therapist that is that matches you and knows what you struggle with or whatnot, or is professionally equipped to handle, you know, your struggles, like PTSD or whatever it is you struggle with, then, you know, if they're not equipped, then they won't give advice that you will find useful, or it may even be harmful without any of you knowing. So, like my current therapist, we went through an hour consultation and see like what I'm seeking, and I try to understand what kind of services he offers and what kind of therapy he does, because it was my first time as well. So I was trying to understand what the whole thing was, and then he was trying to understand what I was looking for, blah 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 blah, and through that we gauge whether, you know, I like therapists personally. As a personal preference, I like therapists that are, how should I say, that are not spoon feeders. So everyone would need something different. So I personally do not like a therapy session that feels like I'm being lectured at, and then I have to take notes and stuff. I enjoy the kind of therapy that allows me to explore my own thoughts, and they play a mediator part, like an intermediary part, like a part that intermediates, that helps me understand the subconscious and like all the things that I might not be aware of yet. You know, there are things we do that are conscious, and there are things we do that are, you know, subconscious, that come from our subconscious, our fears, our insecurities. If you've never thought about your insecurities before, everyone has them. If you don't think you have any insecurity, you just have not looked hard enough. Everyone has it. to various degrees. Those with not obvious insecurities, well, they've worked on it, and which means all of us can work on it, and hopefully reach a point where we will come off very
Take me outside. How about
secure.
that?
Catch you
Yes.
outside.
Cash me outside. Hi, Fire Nitros. How about that? Thank you. How you doing? How you doing? How all of you doing? Wait, where was I? Hey, Natsu! It's nice to see you. What's up? What's up? We were just talking about... What were we talking about again? Therapy. Oh, therapy. Because I went to therapy in Manhattan today. And it was fun to meet my therapist for the first time. So, and Cutie Sugar Cube asked a question I really liked. Do you find seeking therapy to be a sign of strength or weakness? I see it personally as a sign of strength, because guess what? Going to therapy and seeking to better yourself. Going to therapy is seeking to better yourself, by the way. And bettering ourselves is actually a lot more difficult than, I feel like you guys are making it. No, it's not easy. It's not easy to go to therapy, dig deep, and be honest with ourselves, our shameful things, our fears, our guilt. To face all of that is actually like, if you think about the most challenging thing you have done in your life so far, and that's probably more challenging than that. So if you've had kids, if you're a woman and you bore children, well, it's probably harder than that. Okay, who am I to say that? I've never had children. I was brought up being taught a mindset that stated, no one knows you better than yourself. Well, it is true. It is true only if you bother to get to know yourself. You will be surprised the amount of people who don't actually know themselves. Oh, yeah. No, the thing is, Cutie Sugar Cube, you are not. You are thinking the therapist is telling you something you didn't know about yourself. That's not what the therapist is trying to do. The therapist is trying to help you understand yourself. So, all the info is coming from you. But the thing is, while we were going through those experiences, we didn't know how to deal with those experiences yet. So, there needs to come a time when a more mature us needs to go back to unpack all the shit that you learned subconsciously from bad experiences. Okay, let's say you had a girlfriend cheat on you 3 times with your dad. Okay, I'm trying to make it very, very dramatic, but that's maybe a little bit too far. But okay, so let's say you got PTSD from that. I can imagine a PTSD. Oh well, yeah, PTSD from that, right? Well, that's fucked up. Okay, I'm trying to make it something like that, right? So at that time, you might have just I'm just gonna go through this. And like you didn't, like maybe you cut yourself, or maybe you threw drama. Like you were just reacting to the things that were happening to you because you don't know any better way. Or maybe you were young. I'm really talking from experience here because I used to be young, silly, ignorant, or not that I'm not young, but anyway. So like, yeah. You reacted to those experiences. You did not process them. Do you know how to? You have to know how to process something before you can process it. It doesn't mean you sit down and think about it for a little bit. It means it's processed. It's not. It's really not. So, if you've all these bad experiences, your brain gleans more information from situations than you think. From that experience alone, depending on the type of mindset that you have, and we don't know what kind of mindset you have. Cute Sugar Cube. People like Cute Sugar Cube, we don't know. You know what kind of mindset you have. Which is why this is what therapy is trying to do. Trying to help you find out what your mindset is, because you don't know what it is. It's because you do not know you. You understand? The thing is, we are not born with self-understanding. People have a very shallow understanding of self-understanding. People have a very shallow understanding of self-understanding. Oh, I know what I like to eat. I know where I want to go. I know what I want to do with my career. I like the color pink. I'm a girl. I'm from Malaysia. That's not self-understanding. So, but people, that's what most people think it is. So, they think they understand themselves. Their likes, their dislikes, their wants, their desires, the most like carnal, like basic things they know, and they lump all of that under self-understanding. So, shut the fuck up. Hannibal, you forgot Chucky. Anyway, so what do you think self-understanding really is? The real kind of self-understanding, Cute Sugar Cube, is understanding who your ideal self is. Who do you really want to be? The kind of person you want to be. Knowing your personal values, knowing your deepest fears, your darkest insecurities, your shame, where your sense of shame comes from. We will never admit this to people, but we can also not admit it to ourselves. Many people go through their whole lives without admitting any of their shame and fears and guilt. They're the people that can do no wrong. They're the people that, hi, Minister Evil! Hey, it's nice to see you. Welcome. You're shameless. And, the people who don't understand themselves will often be the people who do things that they later very easily regret. They will also tend to make decisions that they will regret because they feel it didn't align with what they wanted. But because they don't have a strong sense of self, because they don't know themselves, they don't know. When they make a decision, okay, something very simple. Should I settle with this girl, this girl, this girl? Making any important decision in our lives requires us, making any smart decision in our lives require us to know ourselves. If not, it's just a matter of luck. It's just a matter of whether you happen to make the right choice. Because you don't know what's good for you, and you don't know what you want, and you don't know what you need, and you don't know what your weaknesses are, so you will pick someone who's like gonna exacerbate your triggers and all those kinds of shit. The wrong decisions all stem from a lack of self-understanding. So, the less homework you want to do on you, the more you're gonna trip yourself up. You're gonna be like, holy shit, I didn't mean to do that. I am so sorry. I don't know what came over me. What came over you is you never knew. Like you don't know yourself, so like your character is not consistent because you have no principles. No principles, no integrity, no like people will be like, he's just a troll. Or people won't take you seriously. You don't want to grow. You don't want to grow old having people not take you seriously. I find that a very, very like scary prospect. I feel personally attacked. Don't. When I share these things, I may sound very, very harsh, but trust me, I'm talking about myself. I have a very, very harsh inner critic. Literally on my laptop, it says, "You gotta write, bitch. You gotta write, bitch. You do not really want this if you don't write." It's on my laptop. So I may sound harsh, but I'm always coming from I'm always coming from the point of also we're learning together. Do you understand? Like all these things I personally struggle with. Still struggle with. The thing is, I'm not struggling with the same things since I've been self-improving 7, 8 or whatever years ago. Do you understand? I'm not stagnant. But the thing is, let's say you struggle with weight insecurity. Like you're insecure about your weight. Then you can work on it and slowly get better. But it's like a thing that kind of like lives with you unless maybe enough time has passed. But like it's more like a constant work. It will come back and keep bugging you for a little bit. Insecurities, they will come back and like bug you, and then the less you feed it, the more it goes away. But you gotta first identify it. So it's like going to the doctors almost. That's why people equate it to going to the doctors, but it isn't. But it's kind of like going to the doctors right now. So like you gotta know what's wrong, what struggles you're facing before you can pay attention to it when it happens. Let's say you find that you can't trust your girlfriend or boyfriend. You can't trust them. And you have to like, you're constantly like needing reassurance that they're not cheating on you, or some like you struggle with some kind of fear, like if you don't realize that you are the one struggling with fear, you are going to think that your significant other is doing things to make you insecure and scared. You're gonna blame the negative feelings you're feeling on them, because you will also inadvertently compare with friends who have it easier, who are like, "Oh, my boyfriend never makes me worry. He calls and texts me every single hour." Like, so you don't have a boyfriend who calls and texts you every single hour, and you kind of want him to and want to make. So it's like, do you guys get it? Did I kind of lost my train of thought. Huh? I'll be totally honest. I don't know who I am. Cutie Sugar Cube. Don't worry. It all takes time, but as long as you try, you will. Things you talk about are really great. Makes you think, no. Yeah. I like challenging y'all to think. I like that because that's what I like to do. The therapy you're in now, is that CBT? No. The one I'm doing now is not not behavioral therapy. It is psychoanalytics. So CBT is the kind that I don't think I like. The CBT is but I feel like it's helpful, definitely helpful for certain types of people. Like if you feel like you need a little more hand holding when it comes to like digging into your past and like understanding what's going on inside and like the harmful ways you are thinking or like unhealthy ways that you might be sabotaging yourself. Like if you want like more of a hand holding experience, then look into CBT. If you want to leave it more open and you want to explore more than like, oh, I want something to be fixed and I need it fixed now, you know, if you are more like curious about yourself and like eager to like just explore ways to improve or whatnot, or if you want less hand holding and less spoon feeding, you will want psychotherapy, psychoanalysis, psychoanalytic psychotherapy or something. It's very long. And you know, Cutie Sugar Cube, the thing is, us, if you look at yourself as someone you want to get to know, your self, so to speak, the self is actually some of the most eager person in the planet to want you to get to know them. If you think, any of you in chat right now, if you think you don't know yourself well enough, you always find yourself making decisions or doing things you later regret, you don't have like a code you live by, you don't have something you're really passionate about, you don't understand what fulfills you, you don't know what scares you, you don't know your insecurities, or maybe you have an idea, a vague idea, but every time you think about it, it makes you uncomfortable because you don't want to think of yourself as like a bad person with problems and issues, you know? Like we're taught to think about ourselves in like oh, if I admit I have this problem, then I must be a horrible person. But it's not. We all, I'm literally telling you what I say to myself a lot. So if it's not your personal experience, then please recognize this is not something you should be doing. So like it's not my experience, is not everyone's experience. But if you relate, that's definitely a plus. And I'm trying to be, I feel like in my examples I've tried to be more broad and more universal. And I feel like I can apply it to everyone. If others knew, I would be in jail. Well, yes, we all have things within us that need to be addressed, but it doesn't necessarily have to come to light. There are things about ourselves that require understanding, but doesn't require sharing. You don't have to share everything you've come to understand about yourself, but the understanding is very, very key. If you never spend time understanding who you are, let me tell you that the inner us, the true us that is inside, right? The sides that we don't want to see. It's not the I like red color. Miyu likes red color. Miyu loves Japan. That's not the Miyu. That's the Miyu everyone sees. The Miyu who is a writer, who is the happy, that's me. But there's all the inside deeper me's that are, hey, it's not enough that you know what your favorite color is. Fucking know what your fears are. Fucking know where your guilt lies. So your inner self is screaming at you to dig deep. Every day, every time you make a stupid decision, your inner self is screaming like, if only you knew! Yeah, imagine that. Imagine that. Imagine them as like a neglected friend. If you don't know yourself, you definitely have a neglected friend in here. A very, very neglected friend. This is a friend who knows that they are the closest thing you will have on this earth. Hey, let me ask you, who do you have other than yourself? In this big, big world, who do you really have? You born alone, you die alone. Okay? We come to this world alone, we leave it alone. So all you really have all your life is you. Yes. So all you really have, you're right, is you. And this person knows that they're the closest thing to you. And the fact that you are not taking the time to get to know them and make decisions that help them get rid of the stuff that is holding them back. Whatever it is. I struggle personally. One of the things I struggle with is procrastination. So it's like one of the things I'm working on and still trying to, those kinds of things. They wouldn't say, this friend wouldn't be like, oh, you don't know me 100%, I'm gonna make your life miserable. As long as you start somewhere, you start getting really, really trying to get to know it, you will just, it's better than not starting at all. You take everyone with you for what? Baby? Okay. Yeah. Take everyone with you where? Oh, jail. Oh, going to... Huh. Okay, something. To Valhalla. And what makes you think you deserve Valhalla, my dear something? Huh? Valhalla. Anyway, for me, my inner self has two views. For example, talking about guilt. If I look back on the bad things I've done in my life, part of me feels that guilt and shame, but another part of me says if I could do it again, I would. So, when you find a therapist, Cutie Sugar Cube, if you can express what you've expressed to me right now, just like that, they will be able to ask you questions that help you. They're not giving you answers. So, like, they're not saying they know you better. So, when you give them something like that, they will ask you questions that make you think deeper and see, which one is more you, or which one belongs to which side of you. Understand the aspects of you that make you feel this way and how you can see things in a healthier perspective. So they will help you understand what is the best way for it will help you Yeah. It'll help you come up with the best way to really feel better about yourself. This is very interesting, Cutie Sugar Cube. It really depends on what it is. The guilt and shame, and like, it really depends what it is you did. But these details, you do not necessarily have to like give to your therapist. They can still help you kind of like process it, but it's always good to be as candid as you can with them, so that they can like, yeah, like why would you lie about your health to your doctor, right? If not, they can't help you. Like, or is this just like lying to your lawyer? Like, do you want them to help your case or not? You know, you shouldn't lie to your doctor, shouldn't lie to your dentist, shouldn't lie to your therapist, shouldn't lie to your lawyer. Probably shouldn't lie to your accountant either. You can lie to your mom and dad. Okay. I didn't teach that. I didn't say that. Lying should not be condoned. Lying. La. I still don't know how I feel about white lies. Should white lies be okay, you think? I feel one of the more basic ways to get to know ourselves, to start getting to know ourselves. I think I've covered this before, but I don't mind talking about it again because it's something I love doing personally, and maybe it'll help you guys think about it too. It's one way to get to know ourselves better. Is to constantly reevaluate what our most important personal values are. You know? Do you know what your personal values are? Maybe I can have this. Because I've been thinking about this a lot when I'm working on my self-understanding. I've been trying to search for my sense of identity. So I have for the record, I have a very poor, like bit of a poor sense of identity. I'm worth about $1.25. I know where the line in the sand is for me. I know how far I'm willing to step over said line. Well, that's quite a bit of self-understanding there. See, when you know where your boundaries are, that is one type of self-understanding. Very clear with your boundaries. You know? That's one aspect of yourself that is very, very crucial for you to know. People who don't know their boundaries and have very unclear boundaries, you know what they come off as? They come off very confusing to the people who have relationships with them. Relationships, friendships, anything. So the people you find confusing in your life, they could struggle with boundaries, because like they send mixed signals a lot. Like sometimes they're okay with something, sometimes they're not okay with something. So like you don't know what they're okay or not okay with, you know? Poor boundaries. So each of us, Emran has very strong boundaries. So it's like every one of us struggle uniquely with like something. It's just, it just comes from the kind of environment you're in. It's so hard to come from a purely like healthy environment. Those kids are so lucky. So I've been thinking about it a lot, and I feel like to have a stronger sense of self, I really need to like hunker down and pinpoint what my true values are. See, I have something here. It says, how to find your sense of self. What do you think are like important to you? Can you list like some of the things that are like you find like personally important? For me, I think it's very important to have freedom, autonomy, and like self-direction. Like, where is this? I'm trying to look for something. Oh shit, where's that ad block? There's something here. Oh shit. Called the Schwartz theory of basic values. I'm trying to find. Well, these are all very, very conceptual, I would say. Control is what I would say for me. So, the thing is, these are all very, very, like, conceptual. Because it's moral values, principles, personal principles that everyone needs to have a set to live by. It's like your own personal moral code. There is no moral code that is like one above the other. I mean, we all have things we all think is good, but the things that you live by and the things that you think are good are two different things. I may think honesty is a very, very good virtue. Honesty is great. But if it is not my personal core value, it's not something I will uphold in all and every. It's not something I will consider or uphold in all circumstances across the board. Which means if I don't prioritize honesty, I am not necessarily a chronic liar or a compulsive liar. I might just think that white lies are okay. White lies are permissible. So honesty is not too high because I think lies in certain situations should be okay and allowed and necessary. Lies. Lying to protect yourself is a real thing. But yeah, those are extreme cases. But there are less extreme cases where I feel like, lying is understandable. So honesty, while I think it is a very, very good personal value to have, is not on my core value. It's not one of my core values. Thank you. Thank you for making all the girls you compliment feel good about themselves. Everyone needs a little bit of ego rub once in a while. Hi. And that uni, that's uni. It is made uni. So there's this guy called Shalom H. Schwartz. He's an eminent social psychologist. So here, what is a value? A value in psychological terms is a principle or a quality that an individual holds in high regard and considers important. These values can shape a person's attitude and behavior, influencing decisions and actions. So the thing is, you have to remember, our core values will change throughout our lives. It will. It doesn't mean that you're not a principled person if your core values shift and change. It's perfectly normal. And usually, when we're younger, we will tend to have a little more shallower values than when we are, like we'll tend to chase different things and value different like things, So it is something that you need to consistently check with. Because, remember that friend? Do not neglect. Do not neglect. Living your life every day is neglecting it. Living your life without understanding everything that you're going through not every, you don't have to like sit down and think about yourself every single day, but like you have to do some form of it. It's just like exercise. If you think exercise however much you think exercise should be done to be considered healthy, do the other thing too. It's the same thing. So if you think for optimal health, you need to exercise 3 times a week at least, then at least do it 3 times a week. That's actually my minimum. 3 times a week, probably. Need more action than thinking.
Hello?
Well, for some people, definitely, Ari. Some people need to just get off their asses and make something happen. Do you understand? Yuki! Yuki! Hello! Hello, baby! I usually start 7 p.m. 7 p.m. our time. And then just maybe 1 or 2 hours. But, we may have a change of a program soon. Like in later in March, we might have a bit of change of program. I'm trying to talk to Emran about like scheduling and whatnot. So maybe not fixed for now. Or maybe contact Emran first. Or maybe like, yeah. So when were you thinking of joining, Yuki? Hey! Cool! Yeah. I would love to do that. You just you wanna watch me. You wanna watch me. I always have VOD, but yeah. I want you to be here. I want Yuki to be here. I want her to contribute her thoughts to my little channel. Yeah, so today we're talking about personal values again. I think Yugi, we talked about it before too, because I like to talk about this. Remember guys, when you define your personal values, you need to keep checking back with yourself to see if it changed. You're like checking back with yourself to see like, hey, are we still pursuing the same goals? Are we still heading in the same direction? Do you want to rethink a few things? Like constantly checking and not just like doing what other people want you to do, because you're like, I don't want to cause trouble, or I don't want people to give me trouble, Don't do things because you want to avoid trouble or pain or, don't do that. Do things because you want to do, and everything else just ain't nobody got time for that shit. Kind of like thing, So let's go. So a value is a principle or quality that an individual holds in high regard. That means you respect that quality That quality is something you think is like, I want to have this quality in me. That's a good quality that I want to show that I have, you know? So this is a quality I want to show the world that I have. So, values. So our personal values are beliefs. They are beliefs. It's something that you believe in, okay? Beliefs that are linked to affect. It means that when your values are activated, they become infused with feeling. So when your values are, like when you are upholding your own values, you will have like intensely like peaceful feelings because you are aligning with who you want to be. It's not aligning with someone you are forced to be. Do you understand? We have an idea in our heads of who we want to be. You know, if Miyu becomes this kind of person in 30 years, I would be very happy or very proud. Oh, if in 20 years Miyu becomes like that, then I'll be very, very happy. So it's like who you want to be. Hi, Nicholas! It's nice to see you. Hey, Jerry! It's nice to see you. Haha. Thank you for dropping by. Thank you. So, values refer to desirable goals that motivate action. So, your values will always point you. If you don't check your values, you won't find your goals. You won't find your goals that will give you the best satisfaction. Do you understand? So we want to learn in our life to pick the right goals. What goals is right for me? So how do you know whether a goal is right for you or not so suitable for you and something that you should never think about? You know, like let's say I can't dance. I really want to pursue professional dancing. At some point, someone or something is going to have to tell me like, Miyu, it's really not your thing. You're wasting your time. You can keep it as a hobby. Keep it as a hobby. It really makes you happy. Keep it as a hobby, but you really can't put it as a life goal. Or, you know, that's I'm picking it because I don't know myself. I don't know my talent because I don't evaluate myself. So you gotta evaluate yourself at least 3 times a week. Hard to pick a goal when there's too many on the same line. Okay, Ari. When people are talented, we will always have decision nightmares. We will always have too many things. At one point, I felt like I was going to be a Broadway singer. I was gonna be a lot of things. And I'm sorry, but the key to narrow it down is self-understanding. It is. There's really no other effective way to narrow down what you... Yeah. Oh, guys, please put in any song requests. It goes straight into the Spotify. Yugi, I'm having barley tea. Disney. And look, I love these. Ta-da! Mushroom biscuits. Anyway. Two spilled out of the bag. Nom nom. Yeah, so let's get back to this. So, here, let me go through this slowly, right? So, values serve as standards or criteria. So they guide the selection or evaluation of our actions. Okay? Which means it helps us make decisions. It helps us make policies. It helps, all those things. People decide what is good or bad, justified or illegitimate. They decide whether something is worth doing or worth not doing based on the consequences of their values. Okay? So, people decide what is good or bad, what is justified, what is illegitimate, what is worth doing and not doing based on their values. Understandable, right? But the impact of values in everyday decisions is not conscious. Not conscious. And that's what we need to learn to be conscious of. What the impact of the values we have on us are. If we are conscious of the effects, then we will know that our values are, maybe a little misaligned. It may be important to you, but what's important to you may not be good for you. So, defining your values is not just looking for, what actually does Miyu want? It is both finding out what Miyu wants, like me finding out what Miyu values are, and evaluating one by one whether it is good or bad for me personally. So the same value that you like can be good for someone else, but bad for you. So you have to really, really be honest and understanding, like, okay, you can have the value, for example, of chasing fame. I want to be famous. Recognition. I reckon achievement. Achievement is very important for me. I need to achieve. I have to make a lot of things happen. That's one of my highest values. So maybe for 20 years of your life, that's what you chased. You chase achievement in your career, in your school, in your sports, anything you take part in, you chase the achievements. So, and it makes you feel good. But if you don't after you evaluate, maybe you discover that, it made me feel good, but I still feel empty. I'm still always chasing the next thing and I'm never satisfied. It doesn't really make me feel good in the long term. If you don't realize that, then you'll just keep doing it and wonder why you feel like shit. But if you sit down and think why you feel like shit, you'll be able to find the reason why you feel like shit. It's because you're not doing what's good for you. It's like you're eating sweets all day. I'm eating sweets all day because I like sweets. But eating sweets all day is not good for me. It makes me feel good. It makes me happy. Just because it makes us happy, we think it's good. So that's a very, very bad way to judge whether something is good for us. But it's so normal. Most people out there, we decide whether something is good or bad based on how it makes us feel. If that thing makes you feel good, we always have more chance to think of it, it's a good thing. If it's something that makes us feel bad, very high chance we will not want to look at it as something good. You understand? Which is why people don't like to change and grow. Because it is one of the most uncomfortable processes ever. Looking at our weaknesses is a very uncomfortable process. It's very scary, very difficult, and very cringe. We're looking at the worst parts of ourselves. Like, Miyu used to cheat on one of her exes. She used to be a cheater. Oh, I hate that part of me, So, and we all live with the mistakes that we made, the things we wish we never did when we were younger. If we don't process any of it, we just carry it with us, and it affects our values, it affects the things that we look for, it affects the things that we want. We will want things that are not good for us if you're not objective enough, you know? So it's like, you guys having fun with it now, huh? It's good that I don't know any of these songs. It doesn't distract me. But I like the beat. I like the melody. It's very nice. Yeah, Ari, feel free. It's very nice. I love the playlist. And it's not distracting. Okay, look. So this is Schwartz theory. Schwartz theory of basic human values offers a universal model outlining 10 broad values that motivate human behavior. So he basically just narrowed it down to a universal model that summarizes 10 very, very broad feeling values that motivate general human behavior. There will always be humans that act out of the norm. That's not what we're talking about. These include, 10, okay? So power. This one we know immediately, power. So power in this context refers to the pursuit of social status, dominance, and control over people, resources, and other stuff. Like you seek control over people and resources. Pursuit of social status, dominance, that's power. And that's number 1. Number 2 is achievement. I called it achievement. See? Achievement is the personal pursuit of success. You chase the success, demonstrating competence according to social standards. Means that you want people to recognize you as competent, as someone who is like, oh, she is like good, like a great contributor to society. Like she's good at what she does, and like people look up to you. So you seek to be successful in the eyes of people. That is achievement. And then number 3 is hedonism. Hedonism encompasses the pursuit of pleasure. You chase pleasurable feelings, enjoyment, and sensory and emotional gratification. So all your likes and dislikes is all under here. So all your surface level likes and loves and hearts and stuffs are under here. Hedonism is pure enjoyment. It's a very legitimate pursuit. People love that. So the 4th one is my wife is her. Okay, so number 4 is stimulation. Stimulation seeks novelty and challenge in life. Novelty is like new things. Stimulation, you want to be stimulated. And how do you get stimulated? You expose yourself to new things. So they like new things. They're very open. They open to challenges. They value excitement, variety, and adventure. These are like very free souls that have a high need for autonomy and personal freedom. And they are usually very aware of their own health and very healthy people, these ones. Shit. Is it working? Spotify? Okay, next is number 5, self-direction. This is mine. This is one of mine. So self-direction refers to independent thought and action, choosing creating, and exploring. So self-direction is something that has to do with self-control, being independent in terms of your thought and actions. Like, you don't just like, you want to do things your own way without being controlled. Like, also kind of like a certain kind of like freedom, I guess. Choosing, creating, and exploring. That's self-direction. And then the next one is me too. This is I think I identify more with self-direction and the next one, universalism. So universalism embodies understanding, appreciation, tolerance, and protection for the welfare of all people and nature. So these are the more like I think the more Zen type people, I feel. Embodies understanding, appreciation, tolerance, and protection for the I feel like I'm a very peace-loving person. And I feel like that's something I want to like really, really work towards. And I feel like universalism sounds like it is something that is kind of like that. And then the next one is benevolence. Benevolence is represents preserving and enhancing the welfare of those with whom one is in frequent personal contact. So it's preserving and enhancing the welfare. It's like helping those around you, being good to those around you. So benevolence is like kindness, compassion and kindness, kind of like that. And then tradition. Tradition refers to respect, commitment, and acceptance of the customs and ideas that traditional culture or religion give to the self. So that's tradition. People who uphold tradition. Hi, Tyler! It's nice to see you! Thanks for filling up my playlist, guys. Love, love. So, with people who are very, very who place a lot of value in tradition, they will always be the ones to uphold and keep tradition. So they tend to be a little more conservative and cautious about new things and stuff. Also, the next one coming up is conformity. It's a value, conformity. So conformity is the restraint, okay? This one, all Asians know. Within our bones, in our DNA, it has conformity in our DNA. Asians have conformity in our DNA. It's like, it's so hard to like delete it from our genes. Asians will know. Conformity is the restraint of actions. Restraining your actions means like prevent yourself from doing something. Like, don't do something. Restraints of actions, inclinations, and impulses that are likely to upset or harm other people and violate social expectations or norms. So conformity, let me repeat, is the restraint of actions, inclinations, and impulses that are likely to upset others and violate social expectations or norms. That's conformity. Very, very well put. Lastly is security. The last thing is security. So if security is a very, very important value to you, you value safety, you value harmony, you value the stability of society, relationships, and the self. These people are the ones that are also very, very resistant to change. So they seek stability above all else. Don't delete. No, it's So we have a conformity that erases our sense of identity. That's not good. Not good. I don't like it.
Emotional damage.
Yes, emotional damage. Thank you, Kyo. You said it. In here, we don't think those things though. Is that so? Okay, look. Did I? Can I do this? Yay! Now look at this. So here, Schwartz arranged these values using a circumplex model, a conceptual structure. Bitch, you scared me, Jerry! Shut the fuck up! Oh god, that was so loud. I was concentrating too. Suddenly KO, I'm like, what did I do? What did I do? Immediately, like millennials are too much gamers, you know? So like, when the KO popped, I'm like, what? I lost? What was I playing? I was like, shit, I lost. Immediately when KO came out, I was like, what did I lose? Suddenly a feeling of dread encompassed me. The words KO. I wasn't playing a game, but I thought I lost something just because of that. It's too much gaming. too much gamer attitude. See? Ingrained in us. Yeah. Yeah. Wasn't playing a game, but thought I lost. A sudden, unexplainable feeling of dread. Sub! So, in this model, values close to each other on the circle. Look, we can look at all our values here. So this is just a universal thing. It's not even comprehensive. It's just like something to help you think about what you value. So I feel like it's good to look at it from like a big picture, and then maybe we go closer, you know? Like, if you're just starting to try to get to know yourself, it's good to come from, like, you know, slowly go deep, but don't just go too deep immediately. Because just like guys, you have to treat your inner self like a real person, because they are a real person. They're not just gonna open up all their darkest secrets to you just because you're like, okay, sit down. Okay, like, Celeste, I only got one hour for you, so now spill out all your darkest secrets to me so I can know how to make better decisions for my life. Ain't nobody gonna fucking do that for you, okay? Not even your inner self. They want to know you, but they don't know if they can trust you yet. You know, and it's legitimate. You can't trust yourself. Like, what if you like dig deep and you found something you really dislike about yourself, and you start a rampage of self-hating like actions, behavior. Self-hating, like you hate yourself and then like you can't deal with it and you like do something horrible. So, you know, the thing is, your body's trying, yourself is trying to protect you from yourself. So, you trust me when I tell you, you gotta, if you've never done it before, you take it slow. You take it slow. You do it slow. You do it little by little. You go deeper. You're not gonna discover secrets on the first day. You're not gonna understand anything on the first day. You can only kind of get a rough picture on the first day, or even maybe the first week or month. So it's not a reason to stop. Ever. It's just like you have to exercise till you're old. You have to do this till you're old. If not, you're just shortchanging yourself lah. You are shortchanging yourself, guys. Yes, basic things. So let's look at this. So in this model, The values that are close to each other on the circle, they share motivational goals. I love that there is like a sort of like universality to it, almost. So like, values close to each, while values on opposite sides conflict with each other. So you will see people that have values on opposite sides, they will tend to disagree with each other. It really doesn't mean that their pursuits is less than yours or incorrect. It's just different. And if people understand that it's just something that's not necessarily bad but different, you know, maybe there will be a little bit less conflict. You know, conflict comes from us like not understanding where the other party is coming from. You know, values of self-direction and stimulation are adjacent, indicating a shared motivation for independence and novelty. While these values are opposite to security and conformity. So self-direction and stimulation is opposing security and conformity. Yes. See, I seek autonomy. But in turn, my life cannot be stable. My life is anything but stable. But it is a thing. So, see, look at this. This is fun. Self-direction is right here. Universal. There's the self-transcendence quadrant. That's the conservation quadrant. And the self-enhancement quadrant. And the openness to change quadrant. So, I am in between, like more here. Openness to change and self-transcendence, somewhere here. And then there is I have a thirst for achievement as well. So like this part here, self-enhancement, these people who have more of the stuff here, they will focus more on enhancing their own physical lives. So you will see people who value things in the lower left quadrant to be generally coming off a little more self-centered. Hi, Bumble Flat! Thanks for the lights. Yeah, well, we're trying to figure out what our personal values are. So definitely, you will identify strongest with one or two, or even three of them. We can always have one or two very, very central core values and have like a third one to balance out when the two are like in, you know, if you have three like core values that you consistently reevaluate and live by, I feel like that's a very healthy trinity. Because like when sometimes we will inevitably come upon a decision that like maybe two of our most important values clash, or you can't have one or the other. So at this point, it is a good idea to bring in your third most important value to help weigh it out and see where you should go and what you should do. You know? Those kinds of things. This time is so bad for my values. What do you mean? What do you mean this time is so bad for your values? So see, Schwartz theory extends beyond social learning theory and social cognition theory, both of which were spearheaded by Albert Bandura. Social learning theory suggests that people learn behaviors by observing others and imitating their actions. On the other hand, social cognition theory highlights the role of cognitive processes such as attention, memory, and interpretation in learning and executing behavior. So, Schwartz theory, however, posits that universal values learned within a social context guide our behaviors. It adds a unique perspective to these theories by proposing that these values are internalized by individuals, as they observe the consequences of value-driven actions in their social environments and perceive certain values as most beneficial or rewarding. So, we determine what we value by looking at the environment around us. So the thing is, if you don't determine your own values, what's most important to you, regardless of like what you want or what you desire or what you think you want, you will end up choosing like values, or you will end up letting your environment decide what your values are based on how you feel in that moment. You know? So you will always be not guided by a stable, fixed set of principles. You will be just guided by however you feel in that particular moment. That's when you will be guided instead by feelings. Your feelings will dictate your values. Do you know? The theory in marketing. This is like for marketing too. I'm Christian and conservative in some point, and I think environment thinks differently. What do you mean environment thinks differently? I was Christian for more than 10 years of my life. And I wasn't born Christian too. I actually became a Christian when I was like 18. I love this song. Yeah. Yeah, I was 18 when I became Christian. And then I think I stopped around the time I was like 27, 28, 20, or even like 30. This is like a long. What do you mean environment thinks differently? CO2. Oh my god, it's Uni's song! Wait, is it? I think so. Oh, is Sora in this as well? Yugi, Uni, Jinny, and Hachu. Oh! Oh, okay. I thought Sora was in this one. Oh! You're so cute! Aww. Aww. Well, this must have been very, very successful. I love that picture of them and behind... Is that the sea behind them? Can't really see. Oh, so cute! Yui's making another song right now? Is it like a solo or is it another group song? Like a group project? Oh, they have another song, but it's not on Spotify. Where is it? Where can we find it? This is so interesting. Oh, look. There's something here that says... Look. There's something here that says, look, checking in with your sense of self. So where does your sense of self fall on the spectrum? So perhaps you've noticed a pattern of making choices based on what you think other people want from you. Or maybe you don't have many ambitions or deep-seated passions and simply feel content to go with the flow. So asking yourself the questions below can offer some insight. So maybe some questions you can ask yourselves when you have time. Hey, real man, it's nice to see you. Hi, sit down and chat for a while. So ask yourself, do I say yes? Or do I do anything like purely to make others happy? It's totally fine to accommodate others sometimes. But if you always agree to what others want, you likely aren't living for yourself. So defining yourself mostly by relationships with others or your ability to please your loved ones can suggest that you have a less developed sense of self. Which is exactly my situation. Before... that's you too? It's good that we identify that. Remember that identifying it, finding it, that you have a problem is the first step. Congratulations. You find it, you identify it, you call it out for what it is, and you find a pattern that works against it, and you practice the shit out of that until it doesn't haunt you anymore. Until you're not suffering from any problems from that particular weakness. You know? And that's how we become stronger and live better lives. You don't want to be stuck with... You don't want to be old and weak and still stuck with your emotional weaknesses. You spend too much on in-game transaction. You know, Realman, there is such a thing as balance. If you feel that you have something in excess, it is definitely not. Excess is something that is never good. Anything is excess will work against us. So be happy at least that you have the ability to recognize excess. It is people who don't understand and recognize or acknowledge excess that allow their lives to, that spiral into addiction, allow their lives to spiral out of control. 5th of November? What's happening? 5th of November. I don't have it, I know it! What, you don't have it, you know it, what? Like, I used to spend between 1 to 1.5k per month. Now it's around 3 to 400. It's good that you start to cutting back. I mean, you start to cut back. You're starting to cut back. I can't grab her when I'm eating. Yeah, that's how we're able to bring our lives back to equilibrium, and you don't render yourself bankrupt. And so it's like, it's the same thing. So if you don't realize you have a problem, you're gonna keep doing the same thing. And you always have to keep reminding yourself that what feels good is not necessarily good. Self-improvement is one of the most uncomfortable things, and yet it is so good for us. Get comfortable with discomfort. And don't limit yourself to only chase what makes you feel good. Because an excess of feeling good people might feel like my life is too depressing not to have a constant influx of feel good things, you know, games, good food, blah blah blah. You know, I'm not to say like you have to eat shitty food, you know. Instead of healthy food, you know, food that satisfy you but it's not necessarily healthy or money saving, or you know, things that could be better for you in the long run, you know. Yeah, I know, I play gacha games. I know. No man, trust me, you and we have the same problem. So it's like yeah, I know, it's huge. It is huge and it's out of control. I have all these fucking dress up games that I buy dresses for, and the thing is, I've always been able to kind of recognize when I'm like going a little bit overboard, because I do tend to spiral overboard. Like, I would be like 3 months into the game, and I'm like, shit, I'm getting too sucked in. I gotta pull out. So I would. And then I would cut it, or I would like limit it. And right now I'm not playing any games. I haven't played any games since the dress up game that I was playing last year. I have not played any games since. See, I miss Pal World, and I'm missing Helldivers. Oh, some claw machines. Claw machines are so scary. These days we have to do something communal in this world. I agree, Puhaman. Something communal would definitely bring people together. The character's looking pretty. I know! The outfit's pretty, the character's pretty. I cannot... 4 years. Wow, real man. You're very loyal as well. Wow. You're very, very loyal. When I see someone flashy, I can't help but swipe. They love people like you, man. Real man. Aww. But the thing is, real man, there is no shame in that. Whatever makes you happy within your means, that doesn't harm you, is within your right to spend. I never shame people for what they find fulfillment in. I don't like to do that. I know everyone likes to spend on different things. It's awesome! Look at her, she's blonde! It's so cute! No. Oh, I'm definitely not saying it is. But like, you know, I'm making like a broader term for everyone. Always making like a broader term. Now I feel like all the things like we all bring up is something like that could be a common struggle for a lot of us. So like, whenever someone brings up, oh, I'm struggling with this, I'll immediately be able to think of a bunch of people that are struggling with the same thing. And I assume that there are people in our chat that are like that. So immediately when I reply you, I would like broaden like to, so that like, oh, all of you, it refers to whoever applies this one. Yeah. Oh, I'm glad you know what I meant. Why? Okay, you need Zillow. Himalaya, I'm so sorry to hear that. Drink. If it's any consolation, they at least had you for this life, you know? If you feel bad that your cat is no longer with you, that you had to make that decision today, I understand that there definitely couldn't have been any other way. You know, if not, you would have. You know? There's like, drink. But like, you know, there's no need to beat yourself up over this. That's one thing about animals. They are the ones who we have to worry the least about disappointing. You know? The fact that you feel bad now just means that you genuinely loved her. And you know, that really is enough. That itself is really, really enough for pets. Children need more. Children need direction. Children need coaching. Children need guidance. A lot more than the basic necessities. But pets are very, very different. And honestly, if you can say that, you know, you've done right by them, you've done the best you could for them, there really is no point in beating yourself up more than necessary. I mean, not to say it's necessary to beat yourself up, but going through the processes of grief is very important. You need to let it out. You need to cry. You need to think about her in a way that doesn't hurt. You need to learn to think about her your cat in a way that doesn't hurt, and all that. But I think one thing when we have to part with our pets, one thing to keep in mind is to really, really remember that there's literally no way we can disappoint our pets. They are literally the ones that we are least likely to disappoint. What gacha games you used to play? I used to play Onmyoji, and also Nikki's Dress Up Diary or something. Nikki's Diary, something. Onmyoji was good. Yeah. It was very fun. The green card. I want the green card. The green card. I have a green card. I have 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 green card. I remember Nikki's. You do? You do? I love Nikki's. Hamlet. His name's Hamlet. He's very hyped right now because I have green card. What is this? It's so cute. Hamlet's right. Hamlet. Yeah. Application for what? What are you applying for? Green card? What? Green card? You get a lawyer? Name any gacha game and I'm 100% sure I've played one. I also play Azur Lane. Azur Lane is gacha, right? Like the ship girls. Oh, I also played Girls Frontline a little bit. I even cosplayed one of them. Girls Frontline is gacha, right? Oh, I like Anti-Fragile too. I think there's something else that I played for a short time. Oh no, I didn't. But I was just cosplaying it. What is that game that has You know that pink Viper girl? And then Jackal? Viper, Jackal, and Crow? That team? What was the game that had? Is that Genshin? It's not Genshin, right? I don't think that's Genshin. Well, Ryome Sukuna says he knows it. Yeah, pink girl. Her name is Venom. Viper! Sorry, her name is Viper. Her name is Viper. And her teammate is like Jackal. Another girl. And the third girl is also like is a Crow. And another girl called Crow. They're like a team. Team something. Team Toxic or something. They're like... No! I think it's a gacha game! This girl. Oh, Nike! Nike, Goddess of Victory! I actually... yeah! Nazu! Oh, of course you know! You guys, you played it? Yeah, Goddess of Victory! You played Nike for a week? Why only a week? Hi, RFC! It's nice to see you! Hey, how's it going? How's it been going? In America, make a business. What? Really? What? No way. But it's expensive. It's very expensive, Puhaman. You didn't like the style? I didn't even play it. I don't think I played it. Did I? I only cosplayed it, I think. I don't think I ever played it. My favorite is... Oh, FG! Oh, are you still playing it? If I had to get back into, like, any of the gachas, I would probably pick... Oh wait, I thought this was one of our friends' music. I'm about to finish up. I still do and support them. Oh, that's so sweet. I'm about to finish up Pokemon Red for the first time using an emulator. Make me wish I had a Game Boy Color 25 years ago. At least you're enjoying it now, RFC. Oh, I never played any of the Pokemon games. I was just a hardcore anime fan. You swipe the most on that game. So, guys, it has been 2 hours, I noticed. Again, time flies whenever I'm, like, hanging out with y'all. I always forget I'm chatting. And I feel like it's a good time to stop. Yes, it did. Time did fly. It's like 2 hours. It's been 2 hours. I've been streaming 2 hours. It's very nice, as usual. And even Hamlet got tired of sitting in my lap. Uni has most of her songs on YouTube, so as... Thank you, Jerry. Thank you. I will go check it out. Thank you, guys. Check out Uni's videos. I'm sure you all already have. It felt like a second. Well, I'll be on time next time. Oh well. You didn't miss much. Just go check out the VOD and we'll see you next week. Yeah, I know. I had a lot of fun and thank you guys for being here. I'm very excited to come back next week. Maybe share a little more of, stuff. Hopefully, we can help each other become better. Well, you guys, And then we'll be streaming on Thursday. And we will catch up then. Okay? I love you all. You all have been wonderful to me today. Yes, miss my cutie Auntie Miyu smile. Oh, this snack? It's sweet biscuits. Sweet Korean biscuits. Bye bye. Love you guys.